we're at this time, I think that's undeniable, that we're at this time where um, different energies are affecting us from all around, from the earth changes, when I say earth changes, I'm not talking about like earthquakes and catastrophes and tsunamis, which is a part of that, but I'm talking about the earth itself, the great Mother Gaia, raising its vibration, the frequency that's changing in nature. And you just go out in nature now, there's something there that it's just awe-inspiring, that words cannot really capture. And the stars, if you're in touch with just going outside and looking up at the skies and the stars, and magnificent energies coming through the stars and the earth, and we're in the middle and we're going through all our changes, and the energies transmitted from the sun, all the solar flares that are going on. The sun's also, I think even the scientists say the sun's going into solar cycle 24. So just the exterior world, the external, you can see all this energetic changes that are happening in the time we're living in. And then if you look on the individual, on the microcosm of each individual person is going through various changes of one sort or another. Everybody's going through this change and transformation. Things are coming up, being brought to the surface that have been squelched or undisclosed in all different areas and avenues of the world as well. And we're in that cocoon, of transformation and change, and the metamorphosis is happening, and we don't really have to do anything. It's a great thing. Like before, there was this thing of you have to go and do these workshops or take these classes and do this and do that. Now, for some people, yes, it's necessary. But now, just being itself, just who you are and your receptivity to the energies that are coming in, and you're being able to hold them within yourself and transmit them, which is happening without us even knowing about it. We're not really calculating, I'm holding these energies, I'm receiving them, I'm transmitting them. It's just happening. It's effortless, it's just going on. And the assistance that surrounds us is immense as well. When we first opened up, we created a vortex in the center of this room, a fifth dimensional vortex, a space beyond fear and separation. And so every time we will come into this room, the energy is already set, and that'll continue to change and qualify itself and recalibrate itself. But it's here already, so we just step into it, and the magic happens. I've been talking a lot about letting go of control, surrendering, and for me, like I say, it's something that I myself have not fully embodied, but something that I'm walking in, and a part of that is, like I said, it's a big thing. Is for me, if I was going to do something in the past, I would have to have. I was never a very structured person. Like I have I never prepare a talk and write out a speech or anything like that. But at least I would have some idea on what I'm going to talk about, or reading or something. And so if I came in here and I had my agenda, there would be no space for me allowing Betty to come up and do her thing. You see? And so that's that trust and that's that openness. When we have that enough openness, then the universe shows up in different ways, and we can say, and it's much better than my idea of what I would think. You know what I'm saying? And so it's happening to me naturally, but at the same time, the mind in me is to some extent, not as much as it was before, questioning, and then to some people it look like, well, they don't have their stuff together, they don't know what they're doing, or, you know what I mean? How can you come and give a talk or do something like this and not have an idea or an agenda? And that's the whole teaching in itself of giving up the personal agenda, giving up the personal agenda and being a part of being a conduit for the higher purpose, for the higher will to express through us. Because when we let go of our ideas, like there's a beautiful phrase in the Bible that describes this as, lean not into thine own understanding, but in all ways acknowledge the presence, the power, the life force, the divine. And the divine will guide your path. Lean not into your own understanding. Right? So when we lean into our own understanding, how we think or what our mind tells us what it is or what we're supposed to do or all that, or living from our mind, we're living in limitation, we're living in duality. And so people, I always say again and again, I don't want to beat the same drum, but people, a lot of people, they think that they can create from their mind and create their destiny and create their life. But you're living from a place of duality, and you're creating more duality. And so you might call in prosperity, but that you're gonna, whatever you call in, the opposite of it is just coming forth too, because we live in a realm of duality. And unless you're totally operating from the realm of the absolute, you know, all that stuff is just not. That's why you see people that are into that type of teaching, they go from feast to famine all the time. They get something, they lose it. They get something, even the communities, they have this time where they got their bills paid, and then they got this time where they're broke and they can't get enough money out of people. You know, they got this time they got the bill paid, and it's just up and down, up and down. So feast and famine. Who wants to live like that, feast or famine? Live in continuity, live in grace, live in the abundance, right? And the abundance is, it already is. We don't have to create it. We can align ourselves with it.